On behalf of the Center for Cultural Resources and Training, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. It is a proud day for CCRT that the first Kamla Devi Chattopadhyay Memorial Lecture is being delivered by Dr. Kapila Vatsyayan, Member of Parliament, a great scholar, author, linguist, dancer, ethnographer, educationist, and above all, an art historian. We are privileged this evening to have amongst us not only Kapilaji, but also Shri Jauhar Sarkar, Secretary Culture. May I request Dr. Vatsyayan and Shri Sarkar to light the lamp and offer floral tribute to Kamla Devi ji.
स्वस्तये वायुमुपब्रवामहे सोमं स्वस्ति भुवनस्य यस्पतिः स्वस्तये वायुमुपब्रवामहे सोमं स्वस्ति भुवनस्य यस्पतिः बृहस्पतिं सर्वगणम् स्वस्तये स्वस्तया आदित्यासो भवन्तु नः बृहस्पतिं सर्वगणम् स्वस्तये स्वस्तया आदित्यासो भवन्तु नः स्वस्ति मित्रावरुणा स्वस्ति पत्ये रेवती स्वस्ति न इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च स्वस्ति नो अदिते कृधि स्वस्ति मित्रावरुणा स्वस्ति पत्ये रेवती स्वस्ति न इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च स्वस्ति नो अदिते कृधि स्वस्ति पन्थामनुचरेम सूर्याचन्द्रमसाविव पुनर्दधताघ्नता जानता संगमे मही स्वस्ति पन्थामनुचरेम सूर्याचन्द्रमसाविव पुनर्दधताघ्नता जानता संगमे मही जानता संगमे मही.
I now call upon DG CCRT, Mr. Surendra Kaul, to give the welcome address.
Dr. Kapila Vatsyayan, Shri Jauhar Sarkar, Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Shri P.C. Sen, Chairman, CCRT, distinguished scholars and artists, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Kapila Vatsyayan to CCRT this evening. She has so graciously agreed to deliver the first Kamla Devi Chattopadhyay Memorial Lecture today. Since many years, scholars had been suggesting that CCRT should start a lecture series in the memory of Kamla Devi ji as a tribute to the work she did for the crafts and social upliftment. She was CCRT's first chairperson. We are very proud today that the first lecture in the series of Kamla Devi Memorial Lectures is being delivered by Dr. Vatsyayan. Dr. Kapila Vatsyayan is an internationally renowned scholar, educationist, and artist, and was a very dear and respected colleague of the late Srimati Kamla Devi Chattopadhyay. In spite of the vast age difference between the two, Kamla Devi Chattopadhyay sought her advice on many important issues. Dr. Vatsyayan needs no introduction. She is actively involved in the promotion of the arts and is considered a living legend who has devoted her life to the study and rejuvenation of the arts in India. In the vast body of her writings, Dr. Kapila Vatsyayan has succeeded in establishing the interrelationship between the theory and practice in the arts. This has been possible as she herself is a renowned performing artist and had the good fortune of learning all styles of Indian dance from eminent gurus. However, at a time when the arts were languishing due to lack of patronage, she took upon herself the task to work for creating funds and setting up institutions for the study and perpetuation of the arts. Some of the prestigious institutions established by her are Central Institute of Higher Tibetan Studies at Varanasi, Indira Gandhi Rashtriya Manav Sangrahalaya at Bhopal, Indira Gandhi National Center for Arts, and Center for Culture, Resources and Training, CCRT at New Delhi. The CCRT showcases a unique concept where it was Dr. Kapila Vasa's vision to see that the arts and the cultural heritage of India be brought into the educational system to enable the youth to understand and appreciate the beauty and aesthetics of our artistic traditions. She, along with other scholars, guided the research and related activities for about 8 years before she set up the CCRT in 1979. She was vice chairperson of the center for many years, and whenever she could spare time from her very busy schedule, she would come to the center to teach, always bringing new ideas to the field of cultural education. Even today, students and researchers are motivated and encouraged by her guidance, and many scholars have had the privilege of studying and benefit from her experience and knowledge in the field of arts, science, metaphysics, sociology, and other related fields. With the vision of Dr. Vasayan, CCRT has been able to create an environment for the mingling of people of diverse cultures so that they may learn to respect each other. By bringing together people like teachers, craftsmen, village artists, scholars, the CCRT has given them an opportunity to reconsider social issues such as caste barriers and social inequalities. The CCRT has also been successful in involving the youth in cultural development and to inspire in them a spirit of harmony and togetherness, and to channelize youthful energy in creative and productive pursuits, which is so often lost in destructive, antisocial, and unproductive activities. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Shri Jawahar Sarkar, Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, who has throughout his life shown keen interest in promoting education, art, and culture. We are indeed very grateful to him for sparing his valuable time to preside over this evening's function. He is a well-known scholar and a keen student of history and sociology, and has published several articles. His main academic work, entitled The Construction of the Hindu Identity in Medieval Western Bengal, the role of popular cults, has been very well received by scholars in India and abroad. I also take pleasure in welcoming officers of the Ministry of Culture, educationists, artists, scholars, and Ms. Premlata Puri, former Director General, sitting in the audience, who have always been guiding the CCRT in carrying out its activities. And last but not least, I would like to welcome ladies and gentlemen in the audience who have honored us by accepting our invitation to this evening's function. Thank you.
I now request Chairman CCRT, Shri P.C. Sen, to present Dr. Vatsyayan and Shri Sarkar with a shawl and book on behalf of CCRT as tokens of gratitude and appreciation.
Dr. Vatsyayan, Mr. Sen, my respected seniors, cultural practitioners, it's a trifle embarrassing for me to even stand here before people much better versed in subjects such as these. It is my fortune to be sharing the dais with a legendary personality like Dr. Vatsyayan. Without violating the Official Secrets Act, I can tell you that whenever there is a problem that the files cannot speak, I never hesitate to give Dr. Vatsyayan a call, asking her what happened in 1952, the year of my birth, and what happened in this year, and goes on like that. It's not only a question of remembering what happened when and how the cultural policy of India, if any, or how the cultural policies and interventions have, over the years, taken shape, but it's also consulting someone who is just a treasure of thoughts, ideas, concepts, and action. I visited one of our institutes, so I would just do this presidential whatever they call it by paying my homage to her to start with, and also take this opportunity of recalling the contribution of Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay. I was had some sparse association with the arts, with handicrafts, and was one of those persons converted very early by Dr. Mulk Raj Anand. And I will not try to capture what I feel is a contribution, singular contribution of Dr. Chattopadhyay in this regard. You have seen those two horses outside that represent Indian handicrafts, the Bankura horse, as they are called. Most people tend to think that it is called the Bankura horse because it comes from it was popular or typifies folk arts in the district of Bankura, which is one of the districts of Western Bengal. The district is called Bankura because of the existence or the prevalence of a folk cult there, which has been Sanskritized into Dharma Thakur. It actually refers to a dome god, a god of the domes. And these votive horses and votive elephants have been the symbol of offerings, have been the primary offerings of most of the autochthons of India, most of the indigenous people of India all over, from the southern peninsula up there north. But somewhere or the other, the name of Bankura is not from the district, but from the god. The name itself is derived from the Bankura itself. The name Bankura was the name of the deity that is still worshipped. And the district that had the maximum amount of the prevalence of the cult, or the area, was known as the area of Mangro. Mangro or Bankuda, the stylized name, and hence it comes from. There is enough scope for us to get back into our own roots, but I won't stand between you and Dr. Vatsayan. I look forward to a very enriching experience, and thank you for accepting the offer, because I am also part of CCRT. Thank you, Dr. Sen, Chairman, for calling her, me, and all of us. Thank you very much.
Does an age make a man, or a man make an age? Maybe we can find the answer in the lives and works of people like Kamala Devi, or no less committed souls like Kapilaji. I request Dr. Kapila Vatsayan to deliver the keynote address of this evening.
Mr. Prabir Sen, dear Prabir Sen, Chairperson of the Center for Cultural Resources Training, Shri Jawahar Sarkar, Secretary, Ministry of Culture, Dr. Kaul, members of the governing body of the CCRT who are present here, and many, many distinguished artists, art workers, and most of all, the teachers who are here from different parts of India. Thank you for inviting me. I am at a loss. I'm at a loss because this is a singular honor. Singular honor because it is in the name of a very singular person. I agreed because Prabir rang up. But soon after that agreement, I realized that maybe I should not have agreed. This is going to be a very difficult task. The more I thought about it, the less I knew. The more I wanted to write, the less I wanted to write. And this person in human form, who represents for all of us a moment of change in history of this country, and who was the agent of change, an agent of change of both the outer landscape and the inner landscape of our working and of our understanding of ourselves. She actualized in her life and through her work over a long period of certainly 70 years out of the 80 to adulthood, a sensitivity as also a courage, and in that mellowing ripeness that colleagues from IIC are all too familiar with, that mellowing ripeness of experience emanating love, affection for this vast humanity, young and old, the totally disempowered, like the young man who just crossed over and she wrote off a letter to Zia to return that young man before it was too late. Or that woman who caught fire in Meerut and she said, Kamala, I'm going. I said, where are you going? I'm going to Meerut because she has been burnt and she is to be brought here. That was Kamala Devi. As also the courage that she showed of her inner life, an inner life which some of us shared with her. Not for 1 minute did she make compromises in the values that she held. And not for 1 minute did she flinch on any account on any ideals that she held. So who am I? Who am I, the little tiny person, to speak about her and to deliver a memorial lecture? But nevertheless, Prabir, thank you, because Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay's biographies has been written by many. Her contemporaries and those who have worked with her. References to her have been made by those who shared the freedom struggle with her, especially in the Socialist Party, and elsewhere I have recounted this. A Narendra Dev, a Jayaprakash Narayan, a Yusuf Meher Ali most of all, a Madhu Dandavate, a Ram Manohar Lohia, and on and on. She could argue and take up cudgels with Mahatma Gandhi with ease. She could interrogate Jawaharlal Nehru, and to deviate for a minute, it was in Faridabad that she was working, and Panditji came, and he looked around and said something to her and said, Kamala Devi, you know, China and Russia have turned their palaces into cultural centers. And she snapped back and said, what's the point of saying all this here? Why don't you do the same? That was Kamala Devi, a Kamala Devi that we knew as youngsters.